Back at Ricks Field, it's time for the starting lineups in this one. Starters are brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre. Let's first meet the Yankton Gazelles, the visiting team in this one. Leading off and playing at shortstop is sophomore Jocelyn Burns. Batting second is the pitcher, the senior Madison Gerard for Yankton. And then playing at first base, batting third, the junior Madison Musfelt. Batting cleanup in the catching, handling the catching duties is junior Kira Chertsma. At third base and batting fifth is freshman Isabel Sheldon. In right field, batting sixth will be sophomore Ava Gerard. The center fielder, Haley Schulte, a senior, bats seventh. In the eighth spot is Brooklyn King. She's a sophomore and playing second base. And the left fielder, Eliza Gurney, a junior, batting in the ninth spot for Yankton with Jocelyn Burns, Madison Gerard, Madison Musfelt, Kira Chertsma, Isabel Sheldon, Ava Gerard, Haley Schulte, Brooklyn King, and Eliza Gurney. The batting order, Madison Gerard, the senior, will be on the mound doing the pitching for the Yankton Gazelles. Yankton is head coached by Jill Muth, assisted by Amanda Blaha and Crystal Cooley. Starting lineups brought to you by Envirotech. Let's step aside and hear from them, and we'll meet the Pierre Governors as they have their starters coming up. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
Envirotech starting lineups for the home team, the Pierre Governors, as we get our chance to first chance to meet them here on this young season, and veteran to start, and doing the pitching duties is Noelle Kist, as Kist will lead off in the batting lineup and pitch, along with Olivia Hymans playing second base. She'll bat second. Right fielder Mackenzie Flottmeyer bats third, followed by Ellie Browers, the senior, in the catching spot, batting cleanup. Senior Ireland Templeton bats fifth and plays at third base. Amber Roman will play first base and bat sixth, followed by Allie Keys, the left fielder, batting seventh. Aaliyah Erickson playing center field, batting eighth. And Charlie Hull, the shortstop, will bat ninth. For the Governors, Noelle Kist, Olivia Hymans, Mackenzie Flottmeyer, Ellie Browers, Ireland Templeton, Amber Roman, Allie Keys, Aaliyah Erickson, and Charlie Hull, the starting lineup in the nine-man order or the nine-girl order, and Noelle Kist. Once again, a third-year starter will do the pitching honors. The Governors are head coached by Elizabeth Keys, assisted by Jordan Eichmeyer, Hannah Lemieux, Kenzie Gronlund, John Keys, and Sam Kennecke. Starting lineups for the Governors, as well as for Yankton, brought to you by the folks at Envirotech in Pierre. And another starting lineup to give to you, the naming of our game officials. The game officials, as always, brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. As our officials go over the lineup cards with the coaches, let's hear from the AG's office, Consumer Protection Division, and we'll give you the law on the field when we come right back with more Pierre Governors Softball.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Consumer Protection Division, as always, giving us our law on the court, and our game officials, our umpires, if you will, we appreciate the job they do. We appreciate the job all high school sports officials do. It's a thankless job, so we offer our thanks because they're not going to get it otherwise, especially with the guys that I know who will be officiating this one. Calling the balls and strikes at home plate will be Shane Munt, and covering the bases, Dale Farman, today's game officials. Shane Munt and Dale Farman, thanks, guys, for being our law on the field today. Sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Consumer Protection Division. As they break at home plate, quick word from my partner in crime today, Chris Hull. who has seen this Governor squad the last couple of years and knows them pretty well. Probably has seen Yankton a time or two, Chris. And I mean, it's just early season. I've talked with both head coaches. The Governors have experience. Yankton is actually turning their lineup over a little bit, but still a good program. I think you got a good ball game coming today.
Yeah, I think it's the key is always, especially early season, don't let those mistakes pile up, right? Pitchers got to hit their spots. If you make an error in the field, don't make it 2 or 3. That was a little bit of the issue last year, but these girls have come a long way. We watched them play fall ball, had a great fall ball season, got 5th in the state, got paired up against Harrisburg in the first round. Nobody beat Harrisburg all year. Girls took them to extra innings. The team has grown a lot, matured a lot, and I think you're going to see a different attitude. A lot of girls more having fun this year. And Yankton's really good. Last year we went down there. Amazing complex down there. Good starting pitching, really good fielding, and some team speed.
So we're looking for a lot. And one thing you said is don't let the mistakes pile up. That's exactly what both head coaches said to me off the mic here when we were talking keys to success as well. We'll see how it goes. Let's pause for 2 minutes. I believe we'll have our national anthem here, and we'll be back with more of the opening pitch coming up. And the opening pitch brought to you by Comtech in Pierre. In 2 minutes, you're listening to Governor Softball, your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7, live streaming at drgnews.com.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotaststormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Looking for a career and not just another job? Beck Motor Company is hiring general service technicians. We're offering a guaranteed $70K to start with great benefits. 2 to 4 years required minimum related experience and or training or equivalent combination of education and experience. Call Dave Lemieux at 605-224-5912 for more details or stop by and pick up an application. Don't miss out on a great opportunity with an amazing family-owned company. Beck Motor Company, Pierce, South Dakota. 605-224-5912.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio and Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg. Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Back at Riggs Field is Comtech will sponsor the first pitch coming up in just a little bit. They are going through starting lineups on the floor or on the field first off, so our national anthem is still to come, so we'll be taking another break momentarily here, but the Governor's getting announced right now. Brian Oakland once again with Chris Hall, Addie Johnson running our show in studio, and Caleb Brozick is on camera today through GoGovs.live. Of course, you can watch it courtesy of drgnews.com and the River 92.7 page. Another question for Chris Hall here when we take a look at these two teams, and you talked about the success the Governors had in the fall ball season. How much can you translate the fall ball success into now here early spring high school ball?
You know, I don't know. There's a little bit of it there, Oak. I mean, you know, we got during that fall ball season, there was we're playing for fun. It's different competition. You do have some of the same girls playing for some of the same teams. I don't know how much it carries over other than a little bit of attitude and a little bit more, like experience and belief and stuff. I think, just like anything, the first couple games are going to be a little rough, but it also sets the tone. So you got to start doing things right away.
I think it's those who have all that experience and the attitude. They're obviously going to be the leaders in getting the team off to a good, successful start here this season. All right, 2 minutes, and we're back for the opening pitch. You're listening to Governor Softball, River 92.7.
Smart grocery shopping takes a little bit of TLC. Dakota Mart and Pierre is thrifty, local, and convenient. Do your grocery shopping upstairs. Spacious aisles filled with savings. And shop sporting goods in the lower level. Apparel and footwear for the entire family. Brand names that include Columbia, Outdoor Research, and Adidas. Hunting and fishing gear, bait and equipment, and guns. Stop by Dakota Mart Gas and save up to 20 cents per gallon every day. Thrifty, local, convenient. Dakota Mart in Pierre, your hometown neighborhood market.
With medical clinics strategically located throughout South Dakota and southwest Minnesota, Access Health provides comprehensive medical care for all ages, regardless of ability to pay. Whether your need is for a routine wellness checkup, attention for an acute illness or injury, or chronic disease management, the friendly staff at Access Health stands ready to serve you. At Access Health, your family will receive the high-quality, personal, customized medical care that you deserve without the wait. Access Health, where you are our priority. Contact your local Access Health clinic today.
May Adam Law Firm of Pierre offers superior legal representation. Clients can be assured their legal matter will be handled with expertise and the utmost professionalism. Their skilled South Dakota lawyers can take care of your family law, estate planning, real estate law, and personal injury. They're able to help you plan and prepare to make matters easy now and into the future. Call 224-8803. May Adam Law Firm in Pierre since 1881. Taking care of your vehicle since 1980, TMA and Pierre has been serving Central South Dakota for over 42 years. Owners Bruce and Brenda Lounsbury, owners of the Ultimate Tire Store, have been taking care of customers at TMA for over 30 years. TMA, your hometown-owned business, offers quality service and products. Tires, mufflers, alignments, oil changes, brakes. Call 605-224-6167. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. TMA, next to the Northridge Plaza in Pierre.
Ready to go with Pierre Governors softball at Riggs High Field, right out the backyard of Pierre Riggs High School. Governors take to the field and they'll get their opening warm-ups. And one of the factors, as we talked about today, will be the breeze. There's a pretty stiff breeze from right field to left field, across the infield from first to third. And Chris Hall is, you look at these pitchers, and Noelle Kiss, she's got a pretty good repertoire, but you kind of wonder, can you use the wind, even though it's pretty short distance, to your advantage? Get some extra movement on some of your pitches.
Yeah, and especially with Noelle, you're going to see that. Her success is moving the ball around, changing speeds, and keeping it down. When she gets in trouble, she's missing high. And that's, a lot of those pitchers, especially more of the
No. We're slap hitters.
Be tempted to today, though.
Wind, as AC/DC will die down here a little bit. I think the wind can affect you in the throwing game and the other defensive aspects.
It does too, especially out in the left and center. I mean, that makes that throw a little bit even further. You got to adjust your cuts. There's a big change. But the girls have been practicing in this wind for a couple weeks too, when they can go outside. So,
all right, here we go. The opening pitch brought to you by Comtech Communication, Electronic Sales and Service in Pierre. Noelle Kist will rock back and fire with the right hand right down the middle at the knees. A good start here for Kist. The opening pitch brought to you by Comtech. Opening batter is Jocelyn Behrens of Yankton, the shortstop, a sophomore. Right about the middle of the batter's box, she'll step up to the front, takes a swing and a miss, and an 0-2 start for Kist. That opening game against Mitchell, I assume you took the trip down there. Did you
I was
see that
in
game?
Deadwood for work, but I was listening over the phone.
Good shot here, but right to shortstop, it's Charlie Hall with a good one-hop pickup, and she'll fire on to first. A hot shot hit for Behrens, but a 6-3 put-out, and the Governors defensively get off to a good start here.
That was a good swing, but you saw that was middle up, right? And Noelle wants to live down. That second pitch was high, but that's a rise ball. That's by design. Noelle's really got to hit that key on that low ball.
It's super important there for the Governors to get that first play made. And now first pitch called strike to the second batter for Yankton, Madison Girard. Girard, the pitcher, also starting about halfway up. High fly ball, left field down the line, and this one hooks, and it's foul. A big break for Pierre. And there's that wind helping the Governors out. That ball was had plenty of hang time on it, but it just kept hooking and hooking, and it ended up less than a foot foul and maybe as far as the warning track out there in the left field fence.
Yeah, and that wasn't a hook swing either. That was the wind that pushed that one over.
That's an 0-2 hole, and there's that rise ball again, and this one rides a little bit up and away. Tough pitch to handle, and Girard will go down swinging. 2 up, 2 down here for the Governors, and Noel Kist will set your defensive lineup. If I get an opportunity, Madison Musfelt, the first baseman, Junior, will stand in, and for the third straight batter here in the opening frame, Noel Kist starts with a strike.
Yankton is success is her first pitch strike. Sorry, Oak.
No, that's all right, but obviously this one just a little bit outside. It'll be 1-1. But she certainly seems to be in a pretty good groove. Kiss, the pitcher. Ellie Browers is in the catching spot to fill the battery. Amber Roman, the first baseman, is a swinging strike from Musfelt, puts her in a 1-2 hole. Olivia Hyman's at second base. Charlie Hall, who made the nice play to start the inning, at short. Ireland Templeton at third. Left to right around the outfield, Allie Keys, Aaliyah Erickson, Mackenzie Flotmeyer in right. 1-2 with 2 outs here. We're in the top of the first inning. Yankton trying to get something going. Good job to battle off a low.
There with that pitch. It was a really good swing. Good job to protect.
Looked like maybe an off-speed delivery that time, too. There's a fastball that comes in, fouled straight here. Hanging in there. Kylie Cherdsma, the catcher. Bats cleanup. She's on deck if she gets an opportunity here. Top one, no score. There's a good shot out to left field. That one's going to hook away from the Governor left fielder. This time it stays in play. Keys will run it down, but it'll be a stand-up double as Keys gets it back into third base. Musfelt stayed alive, fought off 2 or 3 pitches, and she gets a ringing double to left field, and she'll stand on second base with the first hit of the game for the Gazelles.
Really good at bat there. A couple of protective swings, but these Governors got to shut an inning down. They ran into that a little bit last year, too.
Cherdsma, the cleanup hitter, and for the 4th straight batter, Kiss delivers strike 1. So Yankton, their game plan is to size up Noel Kiss, get a good look, take that first pitch, but she's delivered strike 1 4 times in a row. Here's Cherdsma swinging, but out in front of it. She'll spank it out to the left field, foul territory. And another 0-2 advantage for Noel Kiss. She's been ahead of every hitter so far. And yeah, Yankton's gotten good swings. They've hit some balls hard. This one foul, still out in front of it is Cherdsma. Cherdsma, a junior. There aren't too many seniors on this Yankton squad. In fact, in their starting 9-player lineup, only 2 seniors, but a number of juniors, a smattering of sophomores, even 1 freshman. They did lose a lot, and they've got a lot of players in different positions. Swing and a miss on a sinker ball here for Noel Kist, and she'll strand Musfelt at second base after that 2-out double. 2 Ks in the book for Kiss. The Governors, with Yankton going 4 up and 3 down, failing to score at the end of 1/2 inning of play. Yankton, nothing. The Governors will come to bat after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball on River 92.7.
It's time to stop making...
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start-stop technology. You'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
That last inning, you saw Noelle. She doesn't like to waste too many pitches. I was expecting her to try to put her away, especially with that girl swinging at a couple of balls and getting ahead, to maybe throw a changeup away and then go rise ball. But Noelle, she's always thinking. Her head moves a lot when she's on the mound and out in the field, and she's got a good plan, and if she sticks to it and hits her spot, she's tough. That was not the pitch I was expecting, like kind of an off-speed drop ball on the outside. I was expecting her, after that girl got ahead a couple times, maybe throw some sort of change and then go high with the rise ball, but she doesn't like to waste pitches.
Well, and that's a good point, because you saw Musfelt, the third hitter, and then Chertsma, who was the final hitter that did end up striking out. Musfelt got the double after fighting off some pitches. I mean, it seemed like a good opportunity, a 1-2, 0-2 to waste a pitch or two, but Noelle stayed aggressive. Now Noelle will try to get the Governors off and running here in the bottom of the first inning. Senior Noelle Kist taking on the pitcher Madison Girard of Yankton, and the first offering for Girard is just a little bit up, maybe a little bit outside, ball one. Girard's got a quick delivery here. She'll rock back just a little bit and then all of a sudden push off that back foot and explode into a solid delivery here, but this one misses outside too. Now 2-0. And her first opportunity to pitch with the wind. Kist will offer it a 2-0 pitch. Gets a good swing on it, but fouls it straight back off the screen.
Noelle laid off those first two pitches. She's got a really good idea of what her strike zone is, and she's a classic leadoff hitter. She's going to see a couple and then come back in the dugout and tell everybody else what she's seeing.
Swing and a miss, strike two. A little behind this fastball by Girard. Now the count evens up at 2-2. And Noelle Kist, from what I know about this group of girls, you know them better than I do, but I don't know that there's too many people who have played as much ball in this peer program as Noelle Kist in the last number of years. Didn't get what she thought she was going to get, and she'll look at a called strike three. So Girard fights back and gets out number one with a backwards K.
Tough pitch down and away. But yeah, you're right. Noelle's kind of been the maybe not the poster child, but certainly the heart of peer softball for a few years.
Pulling the string here, and a good delivery for Girard. She'll start with strike one here to Olivia Hymans, the Governor's second baseman. Hymans a sophomore. 0-1 is up high, and that one through the mitts of Kira Chertsma. She'll have to run it down.
That first pitch was interesting. Olivia looked up. It was a first pitch changeup, and if you've got a pitcher with a good changeup and fast pitch, you're going to see that sometimes, but you're not expecting it, certainly.
And maybe not this early in the game either,
right.
But now here Hyman swings a little out in front of the 1-1 offering. 1-2. And that's the best thing about having a good changeup and knowing to trust it. You can use it in any count and keep hitters off balance all game long if it works in your favor.
Yes, sir.
2-2, and this 1-2 is low and in. One out here, bottom one for Pierre in a no score. Tie game early on. Good job fighting the next one off for Hymans. Still 2-2.
Good use of a protected swing. She was doing nothing but trying to follow that back. Yep.
Girard, weight back. Fires forward, and this one rides outside. Chertsma goes to the right to pick that one up. Height was good, but the line was just a little bit off. Now a full count here to Olivia Hymans in protect mode. The payoff swung on, and it's an infield fly ball called for by the shortstop, and that's taken by Behrens. And an F6 to make it the second out. I think that's one thing too, C-Hall, about fast pitch. It's I think it's most important to get aggressive and get a good pitch to swing and get a good swing on a good pitch early on, because you really don't want to get in those two strike situations.
Yeah, the way these girls can move the ball around with the rise ball and the screwball, and drop ball and a curveball, you just gotta be aggressive early.
First one misses, second one off the hands, but pulled down the third base line. And this is Mackenzie Flottmeyer playing right field today, the third place hitter for the Governors. She'll have an even count, 1-1. Flottmeyer, who pitched the opening game in Mitchell on Tuesday, suffered the 9-4 loss. I believe she pitched 4 innings, and Noelle Kiss came in and cleaned up with the last 3.
Yep.
Fights another one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mackenzie Flottmeyer. This delivery is a line drive over the third baseman's head, out into left field. Misplayed by the left fielder. And Gurney will run it down, but that will add another base to the path here for Mackenzie Flottmeyer, who, like the Gazelles, will put a 2-out runner on second base for the Governors.
That was a great 2-strike swing. She was looking for, that specific pitch. Pitcher missed a little bit, but Flotsy's got super quick hands, and she did a good job of making that pitcher pay for that miss.
So an opportunity here for Ellie Browers to deliver a run here. The runner in scoring position. Flottmeyer will get a lead. First delivery to Ellie Browers. Misses up and away. Browers the catcher for the Governors. Another one of the most experienced players for this Governor squad, along with Ireland Templeton also in the on-deck circle. Big swing for Ellie, but she'll swing through it this time. 1-1 the count here. Flottmeyer hoping to come across here with a base hit for Browers, who gets buckled with a changeup.
Yep.
And again, use it in any count. That's a great offering there for Madison Girard, who now leads this count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs and a runner on at second. This next one runs up and away.
Flottmeyer we laugh, she's deceptively quick, and she loves to run. She does not want to see a stop sign when she's coming around the bases.
Must be a soccer player.
Yeah, I think she was once upon a time. Now she's a hooper and a softball player.
2-2. Ooh, close pitch here. Browers lets it go, and that one rides just a little bit off the left side, or the outside pitch, part of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. First base is open. Here's Girard, and an uppercut swing, but too high for Browers to connect. So both teams get a 2-out runner to second base, but they're both stranded. And at the end of 1 inning of play, the Governors go no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. There was a Yankton error, but it's inconsequential. No score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard at the end of 1 inning of play. We're going to the second when we come back in 1 minute. This is Pierre Governors softball.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Want a solid deal? Saving 16% on John Deere and Fleetguard filters this month is a great incentive to stock up at Grossenberg Implement. Filters are one of those easy to overlook maintenance items, but they can make a huge difference in keeping equipment running smoothly. Whether it's your tractor, self-propelled windrower, or that trusty Z-Track mower. So partner up with Grossenberg Implement during their filter sale this month and save 16%. Stop into any 9 Grossenberg locations and partner up with us this spring.
Advertise to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Johnson in studio. It's Governor softball. We're through an inning. We go to the top of the second. No score. Pierre and Yankton. The Gazelles will bring their 5, 6, and 7 hitters to the plate here, starting with Isabel Sheldon, who took ball 1 and then swings and fouls one over the screen behind her, behind the concession stand. Then a ball and a strike. Kist delivering. This one a little bit inside. Sheldon backed off a little bit. So Noelle Kist, who got ahead of all 4 first inning batters, falls behind Sheldon here, 2-1. And this one golfed a little bit backhand foul. I think Kist gets a break. She might have pulled the string on that one a bit, but a 2-2 count here. That one fouled off over our heads. If you're watching on camera view, that's on the outfield side of the Pierre dugout on the first base line, but where Chris Hull and I are sitting, we're on the home plate side of the dugout, out of the wind.
Yeah,
most importantly.
Spectacular.
Another tap foul. Just got a piece of it on that last one, but Sheldon will swing and miss. And Noelle Kist with her third strikeout here in the early going, and this one to start inning number 2. David, go ahead.
I think it's good to see that the fans are in early season form, too. That fall ball came in and nobody even moved.
Ava Gerard now batting for the Gazelles. And her first pitch is swung on and fouled behind the plate. She's right on that opening offering here from Noelle Kist, the 6th hitter in the order, sophomore. Playing in right field today. Second one swung on and missed.
The only really good swings they've had, Oak, are those balls, like we said, that are up a little bit. That first pitch that the Yankton's pitcher, she got a good swing on it. It was a little up. Now it's down again.
Kist with the 0-2, and she'll come right after her again. Fastball is fouled back once again. Shane Munt, the home plate umpire, needs some extra nuggets to get out onto the floor.
I think he's the mayor of Britain, too.
Huh?
I think he's the mayor of Britain, too.
Now they're putting all these foul balls back onto the field and
overwhelmed all of a sudden.
Nothing in 2. One out here. We're in the top of the second. Good to get some ball going again. It was a cold week last week. Got some good weather coming up here this week. The 0-2 is right at the knees, and strike 3 is called, and 2 up and 2 down by virtue of the strikeouts for Kist, who has now struck out 4 of the first 5 outs the Governors have recorded here in this contest.
Just complete attack mode, too, right? She's not wasting pitches. 0-2, she's throwing quality strikes.
Haley Schulte, left-handed batter, next up, and she watches strike 1 go by, so Kist getting ahead of the hitters again. Yankton got a 2-out double from Madison Musfelt in the first inning, but was stranded at second. The Governors got a 1-out single plus an error, but Mackenzie Flopmeyer stranded at second. Actually, that was with 2 outs as well. Strike 2 is in from Kist. As she tries to stay in rhythm, delivers. This one will send Browers a little bit wide of the plate.
First 2 pitches, exact same pitches, exact same spot. And there you saw Noelle throw that same pitch, but about 8 inches out. Just seeing if she could get her to chase, right?
So where she doesn't waste a lot of pitches, she might have wasted 1, but she comes right back and delivers strike 3. 3 up, 3 down, striking out the side for Noelle Kist. And with no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on after an inning and a half, we're still scoreless. The Governors bring their 5, 6, and 7 hitters to the lineup when we come back in after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Governor Softball.
Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Todd Sandel today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
At Riggs Field, your Governors batting here. Ireland Templeton, the senior, leading things off for the Governors, who once again will try to draw first blood on the scoreboard here. No score yet here in Yankton. Noelle Kist delivering From the pitching standpoint, the Governors will try to deliver some offense for her. First two out of the zone from Madison Girard, but a swing and a miss. And a hitter's count for Ireland Templeton. The senior playing third base today. Good swing, but Girard just a little bit better. Now the 2-1 forces Templeton to leap a little bit, and
that's a soccer player with quick feet right there, because that ball was going to hit her right in the ankle bone.
So still a hitter's count now. 3-1. Girard pulls the string on a 3-1 hitter's count, and that's pretty gutsy right there. But when you've got that kind of a changeup, Girard, boy, more power to her.
That's confidence there, and it's down too. And, great pitch.
And now what's your offering here? 3-2. It's in the dirt, actually, but sometimes you just don't know what's coming. The Governors get a leadoff walk here from Ireland Templeton. And not only can we see if the Governors can use that to their advantage, we might question whether Templeton will be put into motion here.
Yeah, she's one that probably has a green light most of the time.
Amber Roman, the hitter here, low and away on the first offering. Girard has pitched well here today so far, and again, we're still very early, although she hasn't gotten ahead of the hitters in comparison with Kist for the Governors against the Yankton lineup. First one out of the zone for Roman, now up and away. And it's 2-0.
That's Amber having some good discipline. She likes that chest and up to the neck, and she was going to pull the trigger, but she held off. Good for her.
2-0. This one hit off the handles. It'll run up the first base line, and that is fielded by Madison Musfelt right on the chalk. So it's a fair ball. It'll be an unassisted put out for the first baseman, Musfelt, that will advance Templeton to second base. So with one out, the Governors have a runner in scoring position.
Well, productive out, right? That's what we call those.
Very much so. And with 2-0, obviously you're looking for your pitch. You didn't quite make the most of that pitch, but I think that'll give her a good timing opportunities the next time she comes to the plate.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed because she's got some pop. But
Allie Keys, next up. Just missed on ball one, but the second one is in. Now a 1-1 count. So Templeton at second base. Both teams had first inning runners at second with 2 outs. So this is an opportunity for the Governors to do some more damage. Fly ball to left field, however, from Allie Keys is handled. And that one caught by Eliza Gurney.
Something maybe a little off speed there. Had Keys out on her front foot. She put a good swing on it, but she was out. Her weight was out ahead of her there and just popped it up.
First chance for an outfielder to make a play with the wind the way it is, and Gurney held steady. Looked like a little bit of a snow cone catch.
Yeah.
But she kept it in the mitt and retires. Allie Keys.
Early season catch, Brian.
She did have 2 hands, though.
Yep.
First one missing here. Now it's Aaliyah Erickson, and she'll try to hammer a high offering this time, but misses. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. Now 2 outs here, bottom of second, no score. Governors and the Gazelles here in some sunshine in the capital city.
I've coached Aaliyah since she was probably 7. She loves that high ball, and she knows better. She winced as soon as she swung and looked over here.
2-1 now. Girard delivers, and this one hits Erickson in the side. Girard's been moving pitches all around the zone, in and out, and high and low. I don't think the Governors have really gotten a good feel for exactly, where each pitch is going to be, but this time Erickson takes one for the team. So 2 runners on, and the 9th player in the order for the Governors, Charlie Hall, is next up. Change up on first pitch. That one's in the dirt, and a good job by Kira Churchma to dig it out, keeping Governor runners at first and second. Erickson at first. You still have Templeton at second, who led off with a walk. And Girard's 1-0 is out of the zone.
Erickson still hasn't rubbed her side yet. She's tough.
She just dropped the bat and took off for first. Charlie Hull now in a 2-0 advantage, and doesn't get much on this one. Third baseman comes up the line to field the slow roller, and a good job and discipline here. Good job by the catcher. I think Cherdsma to help her make sure that that one goes foul. It is fielded in foul territory, and that keeps the bases from loading up for Pierre. Just a swinging strike. Foul ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Gerard, too high this time. Now 3-1, and a chance for Hull to find a pitch and try to drive one here. Last time we saw 3-1, though, we saw a changeup from Gerard. What'll it be this time? Fastball, but it's high. Ball 4, and the Governors will load him up.
It's a good at bat. There's been a couple just kind of weird swings, Brian, and I think maybe this pitcher's ball is moving a little bit more. That one on Charlie just there, she was taking a full cut and it went off her knuckles almost. So I think this ball, she's got some movement there.
And again, if you've got that inside spin, here's a strike to Noel Kiss to start the next sequence. Kiss the leadoff batter. The Governors have loaded the bases with no hits, 2 walks and a hit batsman. The 0-1 to Noel. Change speeds here, and that one stays inside.
Not going to say makeup call, but maybe.
Jill Muth is questioning.
Yeah.
1-1 here. This one low and in the dirt. Again, dug out with a backhand by Cherdsma.
Cherdsma's got some good hands back up there. She's made a couple of short picks that are not easy, especially early in the season.
2-1. Going to go back to what we were talking about, but if you've got that inside and kind of rotation that you can generate off of that pitch, this is a perfect win condition.
Absolutely.
Especially to a hitter like Kiss now, or, pitches are going to ride into the right-handers. They're going to run away from the lefties. 3-1, nowhere to put her. Kist holds up. Oh, it's strike 2. Similar to the first pitch of this at-bat where she checked her swing. The pitch is called to strike. Now everybody can get an early start here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. The offering is low and away. Ball 4, and Noel Kist will drive one in with a base on balls.
It's, fast pitch to these girls, it's not the same as baseball. You can throw and throw and throw, and your arm, it's a lot of legs and everything, but I think you're seeing this pitcher get a little tired, starting to miss her spots a little bit.
A little early on, and again, I from my experience in coaching fast pitch as well, to me it's just you don't have the weather conditions as far as the heat and things like that. But the more you can tend to get frustrated by getting or not getting the marginal calls, that just contributes to frustration and things like that. And I think that's where Gerard really right now has to kind of buckle down and just make sure that she stays with her game plan as well.
Yep, it looked like a couple of those pitches, she's short-arming it a little bit. Her stride still looks like it's still hitting the same spot. But, yeah, you're right, probably just a little bit out of sync and frustrated.
So the base is still loaded. New batter here, the 2-hitter, is Olivia Hymans. Good swing, but strike 1, fouled straight back. So now the Governors in their second trip through the order here. Hyman swings, didn't get great contact, but she's right on top of it.
Yeah, that was a good swing. Just missed it.
Time to ride, fouling straight back. 0-1 though. And this one will be outside. Templeton scored on the walk by Noel Kist. With the bases loaded, you still have Aaliyah Erickson at third, Charlie Hull at second. Kist is at first. With Hyman's batting, and this one off the handle, and nice a running play caught by Musfelt on a bit of a dive as well, so damage is minimized here for the Gazelles. They fly out to the first baseman, and the Governors will score just 1 with no hits. They had 3 walks and a hit batsman. There are 3 left on. But the Governors do lead on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard at the end of 2, 1-0. Pierre Yankton coming up in the top of the third in 1 minute. You're listening to Governor Softball.
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. we're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Competitive loan rates, including home loans, complete with a convenient drive-through lane. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
We're back at Riggs Field, and the 8-hitter in the order, Brooklyn King, puts a charge into one on an 0-1 delivery. Ball bounces out in center field, but then up over the top of the temporary fence. Leah Erickson puts hands in air, and we've got a ground rule double to kick things off here in the top of the third inning for the Yankton Gazelles.
Yeah, that was a good swing, but it was a miss by Noel. That was middle. I mean, that ball was as close to being a home run as it was to Aaliyah catching it over her head, but she put a charge in that one.
Now Eliza Gurney, the left fielder, slap hitter here. It goes to short. Charlie Hall with a high throw. It's over the top of Roman, and Yankton has a chance to score a run. It will be King scoring on the errant throw by Hall from shortstop.
Yep. A little bit of a high throw. Got to come down with it, but you got to make a better throw there, too.
So Gurney will take her place with an E6. No RBI on that play, but Yankton ties it up now 1-1 just as soon as the Governor scored in the second. They doubled.
But this is what we're talking about. You got to mitigate it, right? You got to shut it down here. You need an out.
And you're in a good position here. You got a 4 still in effect. Gurney did not take second base on that overthrow. So you still have a double play set up. Here's Hall to second for 1, but too quick from the leadoff hitter, Jocelyn Behrens, who will beat it out. It's a fielder's choice, and the first out recorded on that 6-4 putout.
Yeah, that was a good try. Good try on the turn. I think, you're looking at that early season, that throwing error, it's footwork. Tried to throw it a little bit off balance and didn't get set.
Good pitch here for Kiss to start, but just a little bit outside as Browers came up looking down to first base, maybe trying to throw a runner out or maybe pick her off back at first base. Another thing for those left side infielders, now you're throwing against that stiff breeze and trying to put a little extra on it.
Yep, and it'll sail a little bit. It's a softball, so
yeah. 1-0 delivery is swung on, fouled back to the screen by Madison Gerard, the pitcher, on a pitch that Jocelyn Behrens did take off on. So the running game could come into play here for the Gazelles. Behrens is going again, but this one is hit out into left field. On comes Allie Keys, and on the line, she'll make the catch. Good play for Keys. Then the Governors will record out number 2 and keep Jocelyn Behrens at first base.
She did a good job there. She's got long legs. She covered a lot of ground. I didn't know if she was going to get there right away, but she was almost camping underneath that.
At first, I thought that ball was going to be too shallow, but but Keys did get to it. Behrens stays home at first base this time. Third hitter in the order is a good one, Madison Musfeld, who had a double down the left field line in the first inning with 2 outs after fighting off a few foul balls. First pitch is out of the zone. Second one is in the zone, and a 1-1 count here from Noelle Kist to Musfeld.
That was a good off-speed pitch. Musfeld was shaking her head, and the ball was only halfway there.
Next one, she'll dial it back up, and Musfeld back to back to being late on it this time, so 1 and 2. First 2 batters in this inning, and Yankton got a run on the board, but Kist is a strike away from closing the deal in this top of the third inning. Fouled away. Up off the right side. Musfeld in a 1-2. We're in the top of the third, 1-1. Fly ball here, shallow center field. Hall ranging out, and behind shortstop will make the catch, and the Governors are able to minimize damage themselves as Yankton will score 1 after a leadoff double. 1 run, 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base after 2.5. We're tied At 1-1, we're back in 1 minute to the bottom of the fourth. We'll go with the Governors, bottom of the third, rather. When we return, you're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Number 16,
Ryan Oakland along with Chris Hull. Yankton with that run in the top of the third inning. And the Governors will bring up Mackenzie Flottmeyer, Ellie Browers, and Ireland Templeton here in the bottom of the third inning. Pierre scored a run in the bottom of the second. Yankton countered with one in the top of the third. Madison Gerard back out there for Yankton. Good swing here out to center field. Fly ball, but medium deep for Mackenzie Flottmeyer, and the ball will be caught by Haley Schulte out in center field. So a fly ball to start things here for the Governors in the bottom of the third. Trying to figure out why Chris Hall is not able to hear me, but you got it now, huh?
Yep. Good pitch. Got Flottmeyer out on her front foot. She put a good swing on it, but all her weight was going forward and just missed it. It's a good pitch, though.
Strike one to Ellie Browers, the cleanup hitter for the Governors. Gerard delivering again, and this one will ride away. I think, Chris, so far, even though the Govs got that run, but they didn't have any hits in that second inning, but so far, Yankton's the team that's hitting the ball harder than Pierre is so far.
It sure seems like it.
Browers.
That was a good swing.
Real good swing. Hits it a long way, but down the left field line and foul out of play. That's one thing Ellie does well, and I remember her getting some real good swings and some opposite field.
Yeah.
Hard line drive hits a year ago.
Yep. Lets the ball get deep, and she's strong, too. So
1-2, Gerard too high this time. It'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a 1-1 tie here at the bottom of the third. Once again, 9 games. This is the first of 9 that we'll have. That first one was supposed to be against Aberdeen. Here's a check swing, and Browers, who offered at that very pitch 2 times in her first at-bat, lays off at this time. It'll be a full count.
Teachable moments, Brian. Teachable moments.
The payoff to Browers, and she will let this one go, and it was a little bit high.
Good at-bat. You're right. She swung at 2 of those in her first at-bat. I'm sure the coaches had a little bit of discussion about knowing the strike zone.
So a runner on here for the Governors. Browers, who would have the option to have a courtesy runner run for the catcher, but she'll stay out there. Now squaring to bunt is Ireland Templeton. Pitch is a little bit low, but she gets a bat on a ball, fouls it off. Amber Roman here in the on-deck circle.
You know, that was a straight bunt, but that wasn't necessarily a sack bunt. She's got enough speed that's a bunt for a hit, even as a right-handed batter there.
Browers was ready to do some running. Now fake the bunt, and they'll pull it back. Browers able to steal second base. Good throw down by Chertsma. This is on a called strike, though.
Good jump, and she's fast. She's in track, so she's got good feet.
Here we go, Ira. You got it.
Talk about some of these soccer players. Ellie, of course, in the fall, in the fall, is a volleyball player. Templeton on an 0-2, and this one just wide. Yankton wanting that one, not getting it.
Yankton coach just about fell off her bucket there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. With a runner at 2, Templeton low this time, takes it, evens the count at 2-2. It's not an easy gig. That's why we always appreciate officials and umpires for things that they do here. Up and away this time, so Gerard losing her location on the last 2. With a full count here and a runner at 2. Browers out there in scoring position with 1 out. Templeton takes the 3-2, swings it rather, and that's through for strike 3.
Good at bat by Templeton, but battling back after that missed bunt. But the Yankton pitcher just found another gear on that pitch and got it past him.
3rd strikeout here for Madison Gerard.
Back to that leadoff first pitch changeup. Amber was not ready for that.
Amber Roman, the hitter for the Governors. 0 for 1 so far, out on a grounder to first, but this one a ringing double once again, or a double to be, and an RBI double at that. Roman went up high and just drove one, the hardest hit ball for the Governors so far, out of the reach of Schulte in center field.
2 things there, Brian. I told her earlier in the game, don't swing at the ones above your shoulders. That was above her shoulders, but the Govs got a break there because that ball did not bounce over the fence. So just about.
Well, actually, I think the situation would have been the same. You'd had Browers scoring from second either way, but as it is, a great piece of hitting there for Amber Roman to give the Governors the lead back. An RBI double, now a 2-1 lead. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Next up for Pierre, Allie Keys. This one is in. That's the 2nd pitch of the at-bat, so 1-1 count. With Roman at 2nd, trading places with Ellie Brewers. There's a strike in as well. Ernie has come back and delivered 2 in a row in the zone. Keys will have to go in protect mode. She flew out to left field her previous at-bat. Up high here. I think that was a good pitch by Gurney. A good spot, maybe a little higher than she wanted it, but still in a 1-2, especially after getting 2 in a row in. This one is fielded cleanly. Great play by Musfeld, who ends the 2nd inning in a row with a nice play. Hot shot down the line by Allie Keys. But the glove is down. The ball in glove. And the first baseman steps on the bag to retire the side. But the Governors score 1 more on an RBI double by Amber Roman. And she'll be stranded at second base. After 3 complete, the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's Pierre 2, Yankton 1. Let's pause for 30 seconds this time. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. And we're back in 30. We'll go to the top of the 4th. Gazelles coming to bat when we return with more Pierre Governors softball.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work. Or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
On the call,
Gazelles, number 23,
you can watch our coverage of Governors softball. Pitch strike. 2nd one is a foul ball straight up. Brewers can't get underneath it, though. Pitcher and 3rd baseman were also all there. But unfortunately, I think they just all assumed that Brewers might get that one. But that's, again, with the wind swirling the way it is.
Wind pushed that a lot further.
Very tough play. 0-2. And this is Churchman, the catcher, the cleanup hitter, and she'll hit one out. And how big does that missed foul ball become? As Yankton is looking to come right back and respond for a 2nd straight inning.
Yeah, it's those little things, right? But that pitch or that pop fly is a tough pitch for a catcher, tough hit for a catcher. Somebody's got to call her off no matter what.
No, not at all. Not at all. Very strong swing. Again, fouling it straight back. Right on time with the offering of Noelle Kist, who's out there for her 4th inning of work. Governors lead 2-1. Kist comes up high. And again, to add to that point. Out runner on second for Yankton here to start the fourth inning. Cherdsma, who hit that ball, did strike out to end the first inning, but she had some ringing foul efforts in her first at bat, too. So, again, these 3, 4, 5 hitters for Yankton in particular, strong hitters. This one a little bit low. Good take that time for Sheldon, but it was a good pitch for Kist. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 is in there, strike 3. Caught her looking this time, first out, and a big one at that when you get a leadoff double. Kist trying to take matters into her own hands, and
batter did not like that call, but she was fooled. That's all that was.
Next one is up a little bit high. This is Ava Gerard, the Yankton right fielder. So the first out recorded here for the Gazelles in the fourth. Kist will rock back, deliver. This one comes up a little bit high. So 2-0. I'm thinking that's the first time all day for Kist to be a 2-0 on a hitter. Again, rock and fire. This one in the zone, and Gerard swings over the top of it.
And that high miss is that's legs. It's early, not being in maybe the prime mid-season shape, but that miss is high. That's legs.
2-1. Another one down the middle, swung on and missed. 2-2 count this time. That one out. Cherdsma still at second base, also not utilizing the courtesy runner, even though Yankton has about 6 players on their bench. Here's a strike at the knees. Strike 3, and down goes Gerard.
One thing I learned about Noelle over the years is she will not tell you when she's tired, and she will say, I want to finish this game. And we had to have a lot of long conversations last year about, look, we've got good pitchers. I know you want to finish this game, but if you're shot, maybe it's time to bring somebody in. And I started calling her Bulldog about halfway through the season, and she actually wasn't mad at me. She took it as a badge of honor. So
Schulte up to hit now. And a foul ball to the screen over to the left side for the left-handed hitter. 0-1. This time, another foul ball right back, and it comes right back to Brewers. Catching it off the net. 0-2, so after a lead-off double by Kira Cherdsma, who still stands at 2, Kist and the Governors are a strike away from getting out of another jam. Trying to preserve a 2-1 lead. Swing and a miss. This is a half swing, but Schulte goes around. Kist strikes out the side after that leadoff double. No runs for the Gazelles. One hit and 1 left on. 3.5 done. The Governors lead 2-1. Let's pause for 60 seconds this time. We're back with more Pierre Governors softball.
Thank you.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a pest problem?
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Well, Kist, the 3-2 up for Pierre, trying to add on to that lead. Madison Gerard out for her 4th inning of work on the mound. And the first pitch to Erickson is outside. Ball 1. Gerard staring in. This one much too high.
She really does have kind of a herky-jerky motion, and I think it's even more as the game's gone on. There's more of a shoulder, kind of a cockback that I saw than to start the game.
2-0 this time. Erickson. Interesting vantage point we have here. I've seen a few batters where you can just tell their eyes are up in the outfield instead of down in the zone. 2-1 here, low and in. Yankton hoping for that one, but I think that one below the knees. And now 3-1.
Oh, she's tall. Below the knees.
Gerard up, back, and through, and this one outside.
Whether it's a bunt or a hit and run or just a straight steal, Aaliyah loves to run.
We'll keep an eye on her. Charlie Hall, the batter. Pierce shortstop, and a bunt is laid down. It's a good one, but Erickson, who did take off, will have to come back. And Charlie Hall,
she's mad at herself
down a strike,
putting that down foul. I can guarantee it. I'll hear about it when we get home.
You know this player pretty well,
Yes.
obviously.
Yep.
And the 0-1, Erickson stays home, and this time again fouled at the plate, and now 0-2. So probably takes the bunt out of play more than likely.
Just a tough pitch to bunt up. Should have probably pulled back on that, but she'll battle.
Charlie Hall, the junior, hits this one up in the air, shallow center field, and behind second
home.
base. Erickson breaks for second base, and the Gazelles don't cover it up.
Yep, just kind of the triangle. You know, everybody kind of converged. Shortstop, second baseman, pitcher was kind of holding their ground. She probably should have covered that, but that's just a weird little play, and wind aided for sure.
So Schulte unable to handle that one as she had to come in a long way. I take that back. That was the shortstop who had the play. I'm forgetting the play now, but it was the shortstop who had that opportunity.
That ball moved 40 feet from where it started, though, too. It drifted across with the wind, and tough play, but one she's going to want back.
You know, Erickson, as Kist has an 0-1. Now we got one that gets away, and both runners are going to advance. But you go back to that fly ball, and Yankton did not do the fundamental thing of keeping somebody covering second base. But Erickson, who was caught in no man's land, either didn't really get off first base as much as she should have, and was fortunate to still be able to get into second base.
2 pitches back-to-back in the dirt, and that's the first bad changeup we've seen out of the pitcher, too. She really missed low and backed it up with a fastball down in the dirt here.
So now 3-0 with first base open. Ball 4 is also in the dirt as that one goes to the outside. The Governors have a bases-loaded threat with nobody out. And again, they're doing it without the benefit of a hit. They lead 2-1.
Great pick by the catcher there on that ball 4. Really good.
A walk, an error, and another walk. And for Pierre, it's Olivia Hymans, the second baseman, who is 0 for 2. A fly out to short, a pop out to first in her first 2 at-bats. First one was in for a strike, second one on the outer edge, and that's 0-2.
Governor's got to put up something crooked here, Brian. That was a big problem last year. You know, you get into these situations, you got to put up a crooked number here.
0-2. And this one up over the top of the head of Erickson. 4 runners out. 1-2. Good change up, but a good job staying back.
Yep.
Hands back here for Erickson, or for Hymans rather.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good change up, and Olivia saw it. She identified it early. She had her weight back, and she tried to foul it off.
So still 1-2. And this one inside. Catcher tries to frame. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I really kind of expected another change up there for Gerard.
Yeah, it might be coming here. I was with you, though.
So rocking back, here comes Gerard, and this one bounded back to the mound. Gerard delivers to home plate, where Cherdsma makes the force out. And that's the exact play that Yankton needed. It's a 1-2 putout. Fielder's choice as Hymans will take first base. Kist moves up to second. Charlie Hall on to third, but the Governors failed to score that lead runner. First out of the inning, still bases loaded. And this is Mackenzie Flotmeyer.
Mackenzie's been hitting the ball hard to start the season off. This is who you want up right here.
Good three-hole hitter. Reached on a walk in the first inning, flew out to center to lead off the third. Takes strike one on an off-speed delivery this time.
That was a changeup, and it was up, too. That's when you need to hammer.
1-1. And this one off of the middle part of the bat. Fly ball in the infield. And then the throw on to first is over the top. And a late jump from third base when it's all said and done. However, Charlie Hall is able to score.
I think Charlie thought she caught it. She was diving back to the base, and I think she thought she caught it.
That ball was caught.
Well, yeah, and then but she wasn't looking. She wasn't looking back to see the ball had gone past. I think she thought the first baseman caught it.
So Flotmeyer with a soft line out to the third baseman, but as Sheldon threw to first to try to double up Hymans, she overthrows. And then as Hymans stays put, now you've got Noelle Kist all the way to third, but Charlie Hall has scored the first run of the inning, the third run of the game for the Governors, who lead 3-1. And now Ellie Browers stands in, and Hymans, with a base open at 2, will be able to take it. Stolen base. 2 runners in scoring position for Ellie Browers. Walked and scored a runner last time up, struck out in the first. Swings and misses here, and now 0-2. Gerard trying to get out of yet another jam. This one goes up high. Ball bobbled behind home plate, but nowhere for Kist to go from third. It didn't get away from Cherdsma.
Anything close, you got it.
Ellie Browers. She's going to want this one awful bad if she can get something she can handle, and an inside offering here.
I think that was a changeup. I think that was a curveball or something, because Ellie jumped out of the way and it looked like it almost caught the corner there.
2-2. Gerard, nope, that's too high. Browers ducks underneath it. Now a full count. Gerard's made some good pitches, just hasn't been able to get the pitch. And here comes the payoff. 3-2, and that one is watched all the way by Browers. Good pitcher's pitch at the knees. Strike 3. The Governors will score, but they only settle for 1 yet again. Third inning in a row they've scored a run. This one is 1 run on no hits. A couple of walks. There was an error to help things out. 4 complete. The Gales Gas Service scoreboard. It's Pierre 3, Yankton 1. Scoreboard sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre as we pause.
Termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Be safe, but they certainly have some work to do. Coming out here in the top of the 5th, as Noelle Kist faces Brooklyn King, Eliza Gurney, and Jocelyn Behrens. King, who hit a ringing double out to center field in her first at bat, watches this one come up a little bit and let her high fastball. 1-1 count here for Kist, who rocks back, delivers in the dirt. Now 2-1.
I think that last inning, that's just early season, right? The bats are a little bit behind the pitching and the defense, and probably lucky to get one there off the botched double play, but just a little bit behind yet.
King ahead, 2-1. Good swing here, but fouls it back to the screen. Count will even up 2-2.
Seeing Noelle slow her rhythm down a little bit. She likes to work fast, but I think she's kind of not laboring, but just putting a little more thought into what we're doing here.
Another foul ball over our heads. Out of play. King, the 8-hitter in the hole in the lineup, but has made good contact and now is fouling off some tough pitches here in her second at bat. She bats in the top of the 5th. Kist again on a 2-2. In the zone, but up the middle, out of the reach, and off the glove of Hall at short, diving. Erickson's out there to field it. That's a ground ball single through the middle. And a 2-for-2 day going for Brooklyn King, the sophomore second baseman for Yankton.
Tough play on that dive up the middle. I don't know if she would have got her, even if she would have fielded that. She seems to be pretty quick. But
Jill Muth going to bring in a... looks like she's making a lineup change here with
pinch
umpire Shane Munt.
Pinch runner here.
Callie Koletsky will be brought on to run.
Coming in to run the bases for the Gazelles, number 3.
And King is a second baseman, so you're not getting a courtesy runner here, but a true pinch runner. Good day there for Brooklyn King.
Got a good-looking swing for sure.
Who goes 2 for 2 on the day. So leadoff runner is on, and hot shot here for Brewers down, but the runner who is going, and Koletsky is able to slide in just ahead of the Charlie Hall tag after pitch was called a strike.
She got a good jump there. Good throw down, just a little high. Tag was up by the waist.
Ellie Brewer's got a great arm, though.
Mm-hmm.
And slap left-handed hitter here at the plate. That's the left fielder, Gurney. Hit a ground ball to short. In her first at bat, and an errant throw. They brought in the only Yankton run of the game so far. She kind of keeps her feet steady this time, but swings and fouls. Stays alive in an 0-2 count.
Completely fooled on the off speed, but she kept her head down, even though her weight was forward. I'm just trying to fall this off and live for another pitch.
Defensive effort now 0-2, and Kiss offering here is away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Important for the Governors once again to make sure they maintain their defense, even if a run scores in this inning. Try to keep the lead as you go to the bottom of the 5th, but they need 1 out before they can get 3. Here's another foul ball over the Gazelle dugout.
Normal day, that one stays in play. That one got up and just took off like a kite. I thought Ellie was going to have an easy play at that, or relatively easy anyway for a catcher.
Still 1 and 2.
Yep.
As Gurney fights off pitches just as well as anybody else in this Gazelle lineup. Kist will deliver another one, popping up. This one should maybe stay in play. Templeton coming in and was trying to make the play after Brewers was not able to make the last one, and there is miscommunication here. Templeton got a glove on it but couldn't make the play. Really long run. But yet again, Gurney stays alive.
Yeah, that's the right play there, but just kind of collided. Early season communication.
1 and 2. Still, Kist will pull the string. This one hit out to second base. The play is made by Hymans. On to Roman at first. It'll be a 4-3 putout, but that couldn't have turned out any better otherwise for Yankton, as the runner will advance to third.
Productive out, right? And I think Kiss changeup was about the speed of smell there. It was about 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was a great changeup pitch, but just a little bit better job of hitting
Really
by the
good
9-hitter.
Getting it over to the right side and moving that runner over.
Now Yankton's got the top of the order coming up here. Jocelyn Behrens. First pitch in the dirt. Brewers will dig it up. Runner on third. 1 out. The runner is Callie Koletsky running for Brooklyn King. There's a hot shot down the line, and it's fair. Oh, it's called foul. Actually, I thought it was on the chalk, but it's ruled foul.
She turned on that. That was not wind dated.
Not at all.
Not pushing that ball. That just had some hook on it because she really squared that up.
That was a burner. I literally thought, from my vantage point, thought that might have been on the line, but Jill Muth coaching third out there, she seemed to agree with that call. So back at it. Well, just a little bit low and away. It'll be 2-1 here. 3-1 Governors. We're in the 5th. Top half of the Gazelles batting. Pop up here wide of first base. Roman getting over there and able to make the catch. Throws home, but tagging up is Koletsky, who will score. Or did she touch the plate?
She never touched the plate.
Well, you can't touch the plate. Actually, she is called safe. I think she might have tripped over the plate, maybe, which is touching it nonetheless. So it turns out to be a sacrifice foul out.
Didn't really get to see that play, but I think that was a really, really good play by Roman over her shoulder and kind of wind blowing the ball back into her.
I did see it just enough to see her get to it. Here's a hot shot through the hole on the left side for the 2-hitter, Gerard. And even though that one is fielded cleanly, Gerard with enough speed to round first and head into second, sliding with a double.
Yeah, she squared that up, and then the ball kind of checked up out in the outfield, and she was going to right off the bat there. She's quick.
Another hard hit ball for the Gazelles. 2 outs here, 3-2. The Governors lead after that run scored with Koletsky from third. And a heads-up job tagging up on a foul out wide of first base a couple of plays ago. 1-0 here for Kiss. Second one is out of the zone. Madison Musfelt, who has a double in this game. The hitter. Just again rocking back, delivering this one at the knees for strike one.
Down 2-0, goes to her bread and butter, low drop, trying to hit that outside corner. That's a good pitch.
2-1 here for Kist. Next one, and that one waved at with not much on it. Now Kist to third. Templeton's tag will be a little bit late. A delayed steal here from second base, and Madison Gerard takes third.
Communication and awareness, that's what that was. We just got back into that, get it back to the pitcher. Need to make sure we're checking up on that.
And that one just off the plate. It hit the target, but Brewers was set up just a little bit outside, so now a 3-2 count.
Noel wanted that call. Good pitch, though. Well executed.
3-2 here. And that one, same spot, but just off the edge. Ball 4. So Musfelt will take first. Runners at first and third for Yankton. 1 run in to make it a 3-2 game. Elizabeth Keys is going to ask for time. And she'll bring her defense in. This is the first time we've really had a timeout in our broadcast. Timeouts on the field and in our broadcast, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola bottling in Pierre.
See, your dad's on the lawn chair boys giving away the dollars. He's way this many softballs leave this park. You might not have anything to inherit. He's probably going to outlive us all, though. I did hear his name called as one of the lawn chair guys for the dollar foul balls return. So.
You know, those retirees need to, they'll right. Take any kind of thing to keep them occupied.
We got a big crew of them this year. That's awesome.
So here we go, and a hot hitter in Cherdsma who swings at the first pitch. Crushes a line drive to left center field. 1 run is in. 2 runs will come in as Musfelt scores. And Yankton takes the lead with a 3-run top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, that was just a miss to a really good hitter.
Here at Cherdsma with her second double, driving in 2. As Gerard also scored from third base. So there's the crooked number here for Yankton that the Governors were not able to collect in the bottom half of the fourth. And I think that's the thing. The good teams, Yankton is a good enough team where third time through the order, here's a foul ball wide of first again. Roman will catch her second pop out of the inning, but Yankton good enough to catch up to the pitches, and they will score 3 and take the lead. In the middle of the 5th inning, Yankton with 3 runs in on 3 hits, a couple of doubles, and they'll leave 1 on base. Yankton 4, the Governors 3, middle of the 5th. Let's pause for 30 seconds and we're back. See if the Governors can respond yet again when we return with more Governors softball.
Looking for...
You're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70 years. Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
How do we respond?
Ireland Templeton, the 5 hitter, followed by Amber Roman and Allie Keys, due up for Pierre. First pitch up and away. And we'll see if the Governors play this a little more patiently, although we mentioned earlier you'd like to get to some aggressive swings on early pitches so you stay out of those 2-strike situations.
Yeah, especially with that changeup in her pocket.
Here we go, Ira!
Templeton on a 1-0, swings, line drive back to the pitcher, and soft enough for Gerard to reach up and haul it in.
Inch higher, and that's a base hit because it's going to land behind the pitcher and check up.
So Templeton, the first out to the bottom of the 5th. Amber Roman, who has the hardest hit ball for any Pierre hitter so far today, stands in now after doubling to center field and driving in a run in her last at-bat. 4 runs for Yankton, 6 hits for the Gazelles. And at least half of those are doubles. In fact, I think they've got 4 doubles. Here's kind of a short arm swing and another soft liner back to the pitcher, and Gerard fields this one right off the ground.
Kind of the second time Amber's gotten one off the fists on a, she's swinging. It just tells me that ball's moving a little bit, or a lot bit maybe, because she took a full cut, and that's the second time it's kind of gone off her fists.
2 up, 2 down here for the Govs. And this is Allie Keys. 7th hitter in the order. The Governors have not been retired in order in any of the first 4 innings today. But now a 2 up, 2 down situation. Keys takes one low for a 2-0 count.
Allie's going to make you throw strikes. She's really good at understanding her zone and where she wants to swing at pitches.
Gerard looking at the target, but misses that one up and in. Now 3-0. Especially now where the Governors need base runners here. He's probably with a red light. Takes it. That's inside. Ball 4. So the Govs won't go in order in this inning either, but they'll have to get some work done. And now an assistant coach for the Gazelles coming out to talk to Madison Gerard and the other members of the Yankton infield. Another timeout on the field. Sponsored by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre, your favorite Coke product. The ups and downs here of softball.
Right.
And I mean, Pierre has not gotten a lot of hits. I was just saying Yankton had 4 runs on 6 hits, but Pierre has 3 runs, but only 2 hits so far in this game. But it seems as though if they're going to get a run out of this one to try to tie it up, they're going to need a timely hit. So it's Erickson coming to the plate. Leah Erickson, good swing here. Maybe a little bit ahead of it. Started striding a little soon.
Ahead of it, and her chin came out because she was going forward too early. Yep. Good swing, but her chin came off it a little bit.
Allie Keys at first after a 2-out walk. Gerard delivering. Hot shot here, but it's a little bit wide. Count will even at 1-1.
Leah's got speed, but she's got some too. Likes the ball up.
1-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th. This is a slow roller to third.
Play.
Gerard will cut off the third baseman, and the play is made on a 5-3 putout, or actually a 1-3. That was Gerard in front of the third baseman who was charging.
Yeah, that was a really good play because, like I said, Aaliyah's got wheels and got her by an eyelash.
No runs, no hits. 1 left on after a 2-out walk. We're through 5, and we'll go to the 6th. Gales Gas Service scoreboard has Yankton leading the Governors 4-3, and they're batting when we return after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
SmartBuild has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Timing, I mean, it's the yin and the yang, like I said.
And you get it from the left side this time for Flottmeyer, who is in to face the Yankton lineup. That'll feature hitters numbers 6, 7, and 8. Ava Gerard, Haley Schulte, and now Callie Koletsky. First one a little bit out of the zone. Second one maybe a little bit wide as well, if not a little bit low. 2-0. Mackenzie Flottmeyer, again, who pitched 4 innings in the loss at Mitchell on Tuesday. And this one a little bit low and away. So Flottmeyer close, but no strikes so far. Haven't talked about today's schedule. There are 7 games in AA softball going on around the state today. There's a strike in, the 3-0. Taken by Ava Gerard.
Kenzie's not afraid to pitch from behind. She's got total confidence in all her stuff.
3-1 here. And this one swung on and missed as that one dropped below the bat. 3-2. Talk about all of her stuff. What kind of stuff does she have?
You know, it's fastball, rise ball, drop ball, change up, a little bit of a screwball, but when you're a lefty, that ball moves anyway.
This one hit. Slow roller out to first base. Roman is right there to field.
There, just pure power, sawed her off there.
Makes the clean play and steps on first. And Yankton's first out is registered here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, it's funny to catch these girls in bullpens and the difference. And when Kenzie gets sweated up and she's really going, you got to be paying attention because it moves. And it hurts when it hits you in the shin, too. I'll tell you that.
So now Haley Schulte to hit. And she'll take ball 1 outside. We're in the top of the 6th, trying to get a closing line on Noelle Kist. He had a moment. Squaring to bunt is Schulte, and she offered at it but missed it. Strike one and a 1-1 count. Mackenzie Flottmeyer, the junior, on the pitch, and here's a swing and a miss. Not much on that swing by Schulte.
Just fooled her with a little off speed there. She's worked hard on that pitch.
So 1-2. Flottmeyer steps in, fires, and it's strike 3.
That's just pure speed. You're reacting. That wasn't really anywhere near the zone, but knowing you got to pull that trigger fast and makes you swing at some bad pitches, right?
Number 6, Brooklyn.
You know, Flottmeyer, you can tell, and Kist has, just a lot of great things when she's pitching, and abilities and different pitches and things like that. She'll switch things up. But the first thing I noticed with Flottmeyer is that she's a lot bigger in stature out there on the mound, and that enough, is something of an intimidation factor. Here's a good swing, though. In fact, it's, Brooklyn King is back in the batting order. You get a
re-entry.
A re-entry. Callie Koletsky ran for her, but King, I think for Yankton, it's good to keep her in the lineup because she's 2 for 2 and has hit the ball hard twice in this game, fouling one off here.
Yeah, where Noelle's going to try to pick corners and dance around you, Kenzie's going to come right through you, and that's just her attitude when she does about anything. So,
1 ball, 2 strikes. A pitch here, called for strike 3.
That ball dropped 1.5 feet. It was a high drop ball, and the batter had given up, and that thing broke down.
So 3 up, 3 down for Mackenzie Flottmeyer on in relief, and the Governors hold serve, but they still have work to do. They trailed 4-3. We're in the middle of the 6th inning. We'll pause for 30 seconds, and we're back with more Pierre Governors softball.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
Located.
Wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle behind touchdown.
Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Bricks Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Field that 50-somethings like me used to play on in Little League turned into a softball diamond now.
Come a long way in a short period of time. This field is
really
nice.
has. Brian Moser's done a heck of a job getting it to where it is, and there's still more to come, too. First pitch as the Governors start up. Charlie Hull swinging, and it's a checked swing, but it's a pop-up, and it stays right there at the plate, fielded and caught by Cherdsma, the catcher. Matter of fact, in fair territory, so
just a weird check swing that found her bat. She kind of turned her head, and it found the bat. Bad luck there.
1 pitch, 1 out for Madison Gerard. Now a good swing for Kist.
Gerard's kind of refound her rhythm and even a little bit of that location too. So that's what a lead. Scoring 3, you get a little energy back.
Yeah, a little confidence back here too for the Yankton pitcher. 4-3 Gazelles 0-1. She'll pull the string this time, but that one will sail over the head of the ducking Noelle Kist. Ball and a strike here. 1 down early in the 6th, the bottom half. Kist will let this one go. That one sails up high past the shoulders. Yeah, Gerard again still, I think as a hitter, you're still just not quite sure where it's going to end up. You've got to make quick decisions here. Kist checks the swing, lets it go, but it's called a strike, much to her chagrin.
Right, that's the thing too, Brian, like you get Noelle in there and she's going to be around the zone and you got to be ready to swing, where this is almost the exact opposite. It's coming off her hand and it might hit you, or it might, it might be a changeup right outside corner. It's hard to get, it'll get you guessing, right?
Yeah. The 2-2 is high now, 3-2. And the payoff is outside, ball 4.
Effectively wild, is that what they call that?
That is. I'll be honest with you. I think I think the ball strike ratio for Madison Girard has been better with her changeup.
Oh, for sure. She's thrown one bad changeup in the dirt. Everything else has been, if it's not a strike, boy, it's close.
So a runner at first and a bunt attempt as Kist will take second base. It was in the dirt, but it was offered at by Olivia Hyman, so it is strike one. However, Noelle Kist has a stolen base and is on at second. Now 1 out. Pierre has a runner in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Another uppercut opportunity here, but
Olivia a little frustrated here. That first pitch, I know you put the bunt on, but it's not a suicide, right? That's not a ball you should bunt at. Kind of exacerbated by swinging that something a little out of the zone, but
there's a good shot off to the left side. This is over the head of Gurney out there. That'll score Kiss from second base. A big hit here to deliver by Olivia Hyman.
Bounce back there. It's easy to give up 0-2 and you're mad at yourself, but man, she put together a good at-bat. That was a great swing, and she's young. She lives, breathes softball. And I know she was frustrated with herself there, but boy, she picked out, she stayed back on that pitch and, hit the bottom of the wall. That was a big hit.
Yep, warning track power, but a line drive that never really got much higher than the height of that left field wall anyway. She hit that ball hard. Really only the second time the Governors have stung one today in fair play. Their third hit of the game, but their fourth run. And we've got a tie ball game here in the bottom of the sixth, 4-4. First pitch out of the zone to Mackenzie Flottmeyer.
It's a good pitch there. Had Flotzy reaching, something maybe a little off speed. Wasn't a true changeup, but had her reaching.
So Flottmeyer now with a chance to help her own cause. She is the current pitcher for Pierre. Lets one go by outside. So it's Hyman's at second base. Still just 1 out for the Governors. This one in the dirt. Chertsma with another good pick.
She's got great hands. That was a big stop there. You don't want that runner on third.
A lot of these catchers, and you work on it all season, you work on it all off season. Those drills that about getting in front of the balls in the dirt. Here's a foul ball by Flottmeyer. But even still in a game situation, Chertsma, I'm not saying she's really ranging over and getting in front of every one of these pitches, but what she does is really like a good infielder, watches the ball into her glove, through her mask.
Too, right?
Yeah. So just a wall back there, 3-2. This is Flottmeyer back to the pitcher on a one-hopper, and she'll be able to pick it up after knocking it down. Throws on to first. She'll get Flottmeyer. Hyman's, meanwhile, had broken for third, but she went back to second base and might have missed an opportunity. And the reason I say that is because if she was watching Girard never really did give her a look. She didn't have time to. I think Hyman still could have had an opportunity to get the 3.
I think there's see, that's big right there. But I think what I was going to say is I think if Girard would have turned around and looked, she had Hyman. She got that early break, and she was kind of in no woman's land, so she was hustling back to dive back to the base, not seeing that the play went to first.
So 2 outs now, a wild pitch on a low changeup there by Girard that got by Chertsma.
So as a batter now, Oakland, are you thinking, okay, we've seen a couple of these dirt ball changeups. You can maybe almost put that out of your brain, right? Okay, if you throw it and really fool me, good job, but she's probably going to be hesitant to throw it now to throw another pass ball, right?
2-0, there's another one in the dirt, and it's 3-0, and I totally agree with that because the one in the dirt, you mentioned one before, but there's another pitch that went a changeup that sailed over the top of Noelle Kiss had a little bit ago, too. That was a change. And so, really, I think she's missed on 2 or 3 off-speed pitches in a row, whereas that wasn't the case for most of this game. Now Browers has a 3-1 count as the 3-0 is in. Big chance for Ellie Browers, 2 down. Oh, there is a changeup, and it's called a strike.
Must have called it on the swing.
Yep, I think a half swing. And
even, like I said, that you take that pitch away from her strike arsenal, and as a hitter, you've got her, half the game is won, right? Half the battle is won.
Big pitch here. Brewers ducks underneath it, and it's ball 4. Still a runner at third, but now Pierre will add another runner to first. Olivia Hyman's, who delivered an RBI double, is at third. Brewers now checking in at first. We'll see if she starts to move as Ireland Templeton is the hitter. And Brewers takes off immediately, and Templeton fouls one back. I think that's a missed opportunity there for Pierre to get another runner into scoring position.
She's going again here. There's no way they're going to try to throw this down after the jump she had in the stolen base she had earlier.
Templeton, this one gets away. Hyman's can't make a break from third base, though.
I don't know if Hyman's thought that hit her or...
That's a possibility. Is again, Templeton had to jump over the top of it. Could be a stolen base, could be a wild pitch, whatever. Brewers is down at second base now. And a Templeton hit can score 2. Here's one at the knees on the outer half. And Ireland in a 1-2 hole. Probably the biggest pitch of the game here.
Yep.
Gerard, here's in. Swing and a line drive out to right side, right center field. Templeton will score 2. And now the Governors are starting to catch up to Madison Gerard with some hard-hit balls here in the bottom of the 6th.
You don't see Ira with a whole lot of emotion a lot, but there was a lot of emotion there, and I think there's a few things. Last year we penciled her in with an ink pen at short. She was asked to move over to third, which is a completely different position, and she did it without it.
Tries to take it, can't get to it. Now it's a third, and the
great. I mean, Ira, that ball was drifting, and she saw it. She saw the second baseman kind of misplaying it, and she just took off and good job.
Yeah, it was
close play, but the tag was high.
It was, and I agree with from what I saw there too. That was Musfeld from first base trying to come in. The pitcher, I thought at first when that ball goes up in the air was going to have the best chance to catch it. Of course, it's an old cliche that you don't let the pitcher catch a pop-up, but Musfeld came in behind the mound, but just couldn't get there. That ball died, and of course the wind playing a factor.
Just a ton of backspin off that too, right? A high pop fly like that in the infield, ton of backspin, and that ball was drifting, and Ira saw it, and I don't know if she cared if she was going to catch it or not. She was going. So
well, with 2 outs, nothing to lose.
Yeah,
You're rounding second, you just keep hustling, and that was the case for Ireland Templeton. Mound visit here, and a timeout. Coca-Cola timeout, sponsored by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Allie Keys, the 8th hitter to bat here for the Governors in the bottom of the 6th after Yankton got 3 in the 5th. Pierre has taken the lead. Our new score, 6-4 after that 2-run single from Ireland Templeton. Now Templeton at third to play.
Good swing, though. I like seeing Allie Keys attack the ball and not wait for it to come through. Right?
A loud inning for the Governors. They get that crooked number for the first time. 3 runs, and they're starting to sting it a little bit. They get 3 hits, and they leave 2 on. At the end of 6, Yankton down to their last at-bat. The Gazelles Gas Service scoreboard has Pierre 6, Yankton 4. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Pierre Governors Softball.
Cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Become the pitcher of record and try to nail down her own victory. Hitters up for the Yankton Gazelles, though, and the 9-hitter, Eliza Gurney, who has done some slap hitting today, stays with her feet planted on the ground and slaps a single to the opposite way, and a leadoff single for the Yankton.
It's not really a true slap, but it sure is simple, right? She's just hitting it where, keeping her hands back, head down, hitting it where it's pitched. She's got good hands.
First pitch here to the top hitter in the order, Jocelyn Behrens, who's up for the 4th time today. As the Yankton bats in the top of the 7th. That one just missing wide. So a leadoff single. But the thing is, when you're facing power, you don't have to swing hard. All you have to do is just be firm and square it up. And it's going to get through the infield quickly, and that was the case there for Gurney. Now 2-0 to Behrens. And this one fouled back. Right up above us, but into the screen, foul ball. It's a big strike there from Mackenzie Flottmeyer.
Yeah, again, Kenzie's not afraid to pitch from behind. She's throwing her, gas and some of that
to the hole in the left side. Throw's going to come all the way to third, and
a little bit looking at her, but it looked like she got underneath it.
And Behrens advances.
Run. Yeah, at first, but
that would have been
probably going to steal by Keys out there.
It was right onto the base, right on there as Templeton waited for it, but again, just a little bit late. So now the 2-hitter is up, and this is Madison Girard.
Another good piece of hitting there, though. It was a good pitch by Kenzie. It was down. I don't think it was middle, and she just pulled it through the 3rd short hole there.
Yankton definitely has the part of the order they want up here. They're top hitters. They handle the bats pretty well. This is Girard. She'll hold up. Check swing. So runners at 2nd and 3rd. Happy feet here by Girard at the batter's box, but Flottmeyer delivers. 2-1 here. This one will be a foul ball. Yankton with the red jerseys, black pants, red helmets. The Governors wearing green jerseys with white sleeves, white pants.
I have too.
So 3-2. This one in front of the plate. That's a fair ball. And Browers does not throw. But the good news, the ball hit straight up from the plate. Now you've got the bases loaded. And that'll go as an infield ball game. Elizabeth Keys out to talk to her squad here in the infield.
But we talked about it, right, Oak? You got to learn how to win, right? Start squeezing it a little harder, right? How do you win?
Yankton's got their probably their 2 strongest hitters coming up here. Madison Musfelt at the plate now. Bases apparently. And the key for the Governors ball, 2 strikes here. Madison Musfelt, who had a double in the first, but then popped out to short and walked. She's 1 for 2. Flottmeyer in ahead on the slot. it at the end of 6.5. The Governors are down to their last at bat now. And it's Yankton 9 and the Governors 6. Scoreboard on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. We'll pause for 30 seconds. We'll see what the Governors can do when we come back with Pierre Governors softball.
Taking care of your...
Scott Darnell with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email scott@LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Lucky for us, life
Back
is...
to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Riggs High School, Brian Oakland along with Chris Hall. Hall, Seahawk, whatever you want to call it. I can hear you, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Right. We've had a little wiring issue with his microphone today, but when you haven't used them in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks since basketball season, maybe things get a little bit dusty. Governors with their 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up here. Bottom of the 7th, Aaliyah Erickson, who leads things off, fouled one off down the third base line, and now takes strike 2. Madison Gerard trying to close the door. She's had a bit of an up and down day today, but still with a 9-6 lead. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Gazelles are getting a little more fired up with each passing out now.
Yeah, and she knows what she wants to do. Aaliyah wants the ball up. That second pitch down low, she laid off, but then dug a hole, right?
Now Charlie Hall, the 9th hitter. Second baseman right now for the Govs. Lets this one go by. That's a ball. Charlie reached on error in the 4th inning and scored, but is 0 for 2. Also walked back in the 2nd inning. Patient at bat this time. The Governors obviously need base runners. I think that's what you have to do is at least take a strike. It's kind of the way things work. We saw Daly Hughes, by the way, who had a big pinch hit in the top half of this inning. In that 5-run inning, she's warming up just in case Yankton needs some bullpen help here. There's a good swing for Hall. Hot shot, but it's out to the... Gerard looking in. Deals. High strike. Swung on and missed.
That was a pitch to hit.
By Hyman's. I think, and when you hit those pitches, those are the ones that the hitters, the good hitters, the strong hitters love to hit.
Yep.
But they're hard to catch up to. 1-2. In the dirt this time. Schertzman keeps it in play. Charlie Hull at second base. Noel Kist at first. Both of those runners have to make sure they stay patient. You don't want to get into an unnecessary out when your run really doesn't matter. Still, Hyman's takes a strike at the knees. That's strike 3. Another big one for Madison Gerard.
It goes back to I'd like to see those girls attack a little bit, especially with 2 strikes and anything close. You got to be swinging. It'll come.
So Pierre down to their last out. Mackenzie Flottmeyer, the 3-hitter in the lineup, swings and misses on strike 1. So now if you're a Pierre runner, you just run no matter where it's hit or when it's hit or how hard it's hit. The 0-1 popped up. And Schertzman can't get it. It's a fair ball. There is contact made. And again, the wind causing problems with these infield pop-ups.
Pitcher certainly had time to get the catcher out of the way there. They were all kind of camping, and it's a tough play for a catcher even on a non-windy day, right?
Yeah, and you get the third base.
You'd almost have to tackle Kinsey to get her to stop at third.
Brewers. And the count evens again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In a 9-6 game, Yankton trying to close it out. Swing and a foul here by Brewers.
Good swing, though. Good swing and try to find something a little bit better to hit.
She's really a good inside-out swinger. Keeps her hands in. The left-handed version like this of, what they always said Derek Jeter did so well when he hit.
And again, she's strong too, so she can drive the ball with power to the opposite field.
Another line shot foul. 2-2 coming again from Gerard. That's up and away. So with the bases loaded, nowhere to put this one. Ellie struck out looking on her last at bat. You don't want to do that here, that's for sure, but you don't want to help the pitcher's cause either. Here it comes, 3-2. It's outside, ball 4. So Brewers,
good at bat.
Really an RBI.
Reaches on the walk, bringing in 1 run. Up the bat, number
1 is in. The Governors still need 2 more.
Ira with a big hit last inning too.
But the tying run is in scoring position at second base. It's 9-7. Pierre scores for the 5th inning out of 7 in this game. Templeton takes an off-speed pitch for a strike.
Yeah, she found the feel on that changeup. She struggled for a while, but she's found it now.
Here comes an 0-1. Base is still loaded. Templeton will foul one up over the top. That'll be strike 2.
Looks like she found her command too in this last inning, and after she gave up a few of those hits that big inning, she's found her command now. She's around the zone again.
Here comes an 0-2. Another one, this time up and away. Good pitch to waste. I think that's 2 batters in a row that Gerard has gone changeup on
Yep.
On the first pitch, however.
Yep.
Here's a 1-2. Templeton stays alive. Another foul ball. That pitch up in the zone.
That was a strikeout pitch. That's her strikeout pitch, right? Rise ball starting at your chest and going up to your chin, and she did a good job following that off.
Still 1-2. Templeton, the one here is...
that was a really good pitch. Third changeup. Templeton seen this at bat and did a really, really good job of following that off.
Got out in front of it, but hit it out the end of the bat. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gerard staring her down. Delivers high. 2-2. I mean, these are the kind of games, especially early in the season, you do want to play these games. You have to play these games if you're going to have success over the course of a season. Swing and a 2-2, and this is another foul off.
Really good at bat.
Over the Pierre bench. Kist will retreat to third. And again, Pierre runners, especially if you're out there at second, Mackenzie Flotmeyer, you need a good jump on anything that's hit here. Anything to the outfield should tie the game. Templeton's 2-2.
Right at her.
Second baseman, Brooklyn King has it, and this ball game is in the books. That was a hot shot, line drive, but the second baseman hauls it in.
Great at bat.
Great at bat, and a great play, and I think all around a really, really good game. The Governors will come up short. Unfortunately, they get a run in the 7th on no hits, actually. There was an error, so they leave all 3 bases plugged. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, the Yankton Gazelles defeat the Pierre Governors by the score of 9-7. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Let's pause for 2 minutes. We'll come back, give you the recap. We'll give you the box score. We'll still do our customary plays of the game and your player of the game. Coming up in our post game, which is sponsored by Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. That's in 2 minutes. This is Pierre Governors Softball, your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 at drgnews.com.
The team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable and to have the healthiest, best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all your family's dental needs. Call Family Dental at 224-7774 today.
Taking care of your vehicle since 1980, TMA in Pierre has been serving Central South Dakota for over 42 years. Owners Bruce and Brenda Lounsbury, owners of the Ultimate Tire Store, have been taking care of customers at TMA for over 30 years. TMA, your hometown-owned business, offers quality service and products. Tires, mufflers, alignments, oil changes, brakes. Call 605-224-6167. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. TMA, next to the Northridge Plaza in Pierre.
It's time to stop making excuses. The peace of mind you get after a colonoscopy is worth it. It's the best way to prevent and detect one of the deadliest cancers. In fact, your doctor can remove precancerous polyps during the procedure if necessary. That's right, before it even turns to cancer. No buts about it. Get a colonoscopy at 45 and follow up every 10 years or as recommended by your doctor. Find a location or schedule now at avera.org/colon.
First Dakota has been named South Dakota's best in-state bank by Forbes. And while we appreciate the recognition, we don't really plan to celebrate. We'll just keep doing what we do best. Serve customers buying or refinancing homes. Support farmers in their long-term plans. Finance the growth of area businesses. And help our South Dakota communities thrive. If you want to experience best in-state service, call or visit with a First Dakota banker today. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Up at Riggs High School in Pierre, Bryan, Oakland, as we welcome you to our Family Dental post game. A good ball game here. The home opener for the Pierre Governors, as they did lead for much of it. They lost the lead. They regained the lead, but then lost that lead in that 7th inning. This we'll give you the recap, but they fall here to the Yankton Gazelles by the score of 9-7. Yankton with the win improves to 2-1 on the young season. The Governors will fall to 0-2 as they get ready for the junior varsity game to be played next here at Riggs Field. Of course, we won't cover that one, but we'll give you the recap of this varsity contest. Yankton scored, well, Pierce scored first in the second inning. They get a run in the second. Yankton with a follow-up run in the third to tie it at 1-1. The Governors come back with another run in the bottom of the third to take a 2-1 lead. They added another one in the fourth, but certainly could have had more as they had bases loaded with nobody out, but could only get one run across. They did lead 3-1 at that point. Yankton scores 3 in the fifth to go up 4-3. Then the Governors, after going scoreless in the fifth, Yankton also scoreless in the top of the sixth. Pierce scores 3 in the bottom of the sixth, and they took a 6-4 lead to the seventh inning. But Yankton starts with 5 hits in a row, and they ended up with 6 overall in the inning. They scored 5 runs. They led 9-6. The Governors, on a bases-loaded walk, get 1 run in the bottom of the seventh, but then they come up short. A line drive by Ireland Templeton straight at the second baseman, and Brooklyn King makes the play to seal the deal for the Gazelles, who win this one 9-7. Scoring started for the Governors. They get their run in the second on a bases-loaded walk by Noel Kiss to score Templeton in the second inning. After Yankton tied it at 1-1, Brewers came around to score after walking, but she scored on an RBI double by Amber Roman to center field. And then that third inning was a big one. Pierre got a walk, plus an error, plus a walk to load the bases with nobody out. But a fielder's choice on a ground out back to the pitcher, who went home to get the force out by Olivia Hymans. And then a line drive to the soft line drive off the bat of Mackenzie Flottmeyer to third base was the second out of that inning, and then a strikeout to end it. Meanwhile, Charlie Hall was able to score along the way, but only 1 run when the Governors would have loved to have had more. Meanwhile, they led 3-1. Yankton got a leadoff double in the third inning to get their run. The double to start, and then a grounder to shortstop, but an overthrow at first base allowed Brooklyn King to score that first run of the game. So it was 3-1 at the end of 4. And then Yankton comes up in the fifth. They get a leadoff single by Brooklyn King. She was pinch run for by Callie Koletsky, and she ended up coming around to score as a ground out to second, advanced the runner to third. Jocelyn Behrens then popped out in foul territory to Amber Roman at first base, but it was Koletsky running, tagging up from third, and she was able to score just ahead of the tag, so it turned into a sacrifice fly for Jocelyn Behrens. And then Madison Gerard followed with a double, a walk to Madison Musfelt, and then a double by Kira Chertsma scored 2 more runs, and that makes it a 3-run inning for Yankton to take that 6-4 lead. Mackenzie Flottmeyer came in to pitch in the 6th inning for the Governors, and after mowing them down in 3 up, 3 down, getting a couple of strikeouts, Beard comes up in the bottom of the 6th. The first batter, Charlie Hall, popped out on a check swing to the catcher, but then Noel Kist walked, stole second. Olivia Hymans drives her in with a double to center field. And again, Hymans taking her place at second, but Flottmeyer was out on a 1-3 putout. Then Ellie Brewers walks. She advances on a wild pitch. And Ireland Templeton was able to drive in both Hymans and Brewers with a 2-run single. That gave Pierre the 6-4 lead, but and even after Amber Roman got an infield single, Allie Keys drove a fly ball to left field, but the ball was caught by Eliza Gurney, hit right to her. Otherwise, the Governors looked like they might have had an opportunity for even 1 more, if not 2, to close out that 6th. But they go to the 7th inning with that 6-4 lead. But Eliza Gurney with a single through the left side of the infield to lead off the 7th. Then a single for Jocelyn Behrens and another single for Madison Gerard. 3 singles, one of them by Gerard that was right in front of home plate, fielded by Brewers, but she did not make a play anywhere. She was a little concerned about the runner at third. So 3 runners on, nobody out, and Musfelt delivers an RBI single. Kira Chertsma with a 2-run single. And then Isabel Shelton with an RBI ground out, and Daly Hughes, pinch hitting for Ava Gerard, came in and delivered a swing. A hit to the fence to score 1 more run. That was the 6th and final run scoring for Yankton. They take a 5th run, in the 7th. They take a 9-6 lead. And again, the Governors, with the help of an error in the 7th inning and a couple of walks, loaded the bases, but just bases loaded walk by Ellie Browers. That was the only run they could get. Next batter, Ireland Templeton, lines out to second base, and Yankton wins it 9-7. And for Chris Hall, who's been talking to us about this one, you go to the 7th inning, and you said the Governors had to find out a way to win, and that was in the top of the 7th. It didn't happen in the top half. They tried to get things going. They were patient. They, took pitches that they needed to. They got a little bit of good fortune. They get a run, but and you certainly get the kind of hit you want from Ireland Templeton in do or die effort. But man, sometimes you hit them right at people, and that was the case.
And the previous top half of that inning, our second baseman was shifted over where they play very commonly. Ball found the hole. In baseball, that hit by Templeton absolutely finds the hole, and it's a tie game. It's just a little bit of different defensive positioning. My takeaways, Oak, on this are, we got to clean up the little things. We didn't see any glaring errors, right? Anything that stuck out went, we should have made that play. But little bitty base hit ends up hurting us. Maybe a foot on a base to play at third. Not being aggressive on maybe a single that turns into a double. It's little things. But what I really like to see is, we didn't win. We didn't find a way to win. But they sure stayed in it, battled back, and made it really interesting at the end. And those are the things you can build on, right? It's there. It's just, all right, let's clean this up. And that turns into wins down the road.
You can be a little bit nitpicky. Granted, it's early in the season, but there were a couple of foul ups or pop ups in foul territory that Pierre was not able to make plays on. And I know at least the first one that wasn't made, I think it was on a Chertsma at bat. She came up with a big hit for Yankton somewhere in the middle of the game. And there was another one later in the game. Obviously, later in the season, you have to clean up those types of misplays. I only have Pierre with 1 error. Obviously, that's unofficial, but you could call an error on some of these plays that weren't made in foul territory. But all in all, a couple of plays that weren't made, but still there was plenty to smile about it.
And Yankton had timely hitting too, right? I mean, there was some clutch hits. Now Pierre did do that in their big inning. We had 2 really timely hits, clutch hits. Yankton, their 9 batter, their first 4 batters, they can swing it, right? And they got up with runners in scoring position and put up crooked numbers. Where we had an opportunity to do that with bases loaded, nobody out, we got 1. So you clean that up, get some timely hitting, and the future looks good.
So Yankton wins at 9-7. Taking a look at the box score, we'll just touch on a few people, but Yankton, and when we look at players of the game, we'll keep it local for the Governors in this one, but player of the game coming up a little bit later on. But I tell you what, if I was going to go with a Yankton player, you're certainly looking at the cleanup hitter, Kira Chertsma, 3 for 4, 4 runs driven in. She had a 2-run double in the 5th, in which Yankton scored 3 runs. She had a 2-run double in the 7th inning, in which they scored 5, and that was the difference. That 5-run 7th inning, she scored a run in there and played some great backstop as well. I don't know about you, but catcher is my favorite position on the field, and I've got a soft spot for those that play that position well. Kira Chertsma, a job well done today. Brooklyn King, the 8th hitter in the lineup, goes 2 for 3, and her spot scores 2 runs. Callie Koletsky scored 1 of those. Madison Gerard, the 2-hitter, scores a couple of runs. Madison Musfelt, the 3-hitter, goes 2 for 3 today and scores 2 runs. Yankton had a pretty good day at the plate. 9 runs on 12 hits overall. Did have them at 3 errors, but they also had some plays that they could have made, but did not. And again, things to clean up as the season progresses along. You look at Pierre, he scores 7 runs, only got him on 5 hits, however, and 3 of those came in that 3-run 6th inning. A big double for Olivia Hymans. You had a number of free passes issued by Madison Gerard, the Yankton pitcher today. Ireland Templeton had a big 2-run single. She'll go 1 for 4 today. Did walk and score in the second inning. Brewers is the only player for Pierre to score. I take that back. Brewers and Charlie Hull scored 2 runs apiece. Hyman's, Kist, and Templeton score runs. There wasn't a lot of standout play, I think, offensively, but Pierre did it more with good eyes and manufacturing runs due to some of the help that they got from the Yankton pitching.
The effectively wild, but you can mitigate that by knowing your strike zone, right? And the girls did a good job of swinging at strikes. Didn't see a lot of leaving the strike zone. I think the one time I did do it was Amber Roman on a pitch that was, at her chin, and she put solid wood on it. So.
Yeah, delivered a strong double there. So, Pierre does fall here 9-7. They're 0-2 on the season. We'll check their schedule coming up in just a little bit, but let's pause for a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about the big plays in this game. Big plays in our broadcast are sponsored by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. Your big plays are next. This is Governor Softball.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District, backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Hermanson Endodontics, the big plays in this game, and a Yankton victory 9-7. The big plays for the Gazelles certainly come in their 2 innings, Chris Hall, where they score crooked numbers. They get 3 in the 5th, but that 5-run 7th inning, big plays are made, and I'm going to continue to go back to Kira Cherdsma with those 2, the pair of 2 RBI hits that she had. To me, those are the biggest plays in this game. And Yankton, I think they figured out Noelle Kiss. They caught up to her. They hit her pretty well, but the way that they caught up to Mackenzie Flottmeyer in relief in this game, and the way they came out just seemingly smoking, and then even on hits that they really didn't mean to get hits on, right, things fell their way, and they all turn into big plays.
Yeah, you don't see that often. Those, granted there was a couple little doinks there, but Mackenzie doesn't pitch to contact, and they handled it well and took advantage. It's timely hitting, right? It's contagious, and yeah, for sure, those are the big plays.
Big plays of the game sponsored by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. And we mentioned players of the game in our broadcast, brought to you by Cowboy Country Stores of Pierre and Fort Pierre. We don't have a lot of game broadcasts in Pierre softball. We're just doing home games, so we'll keep them local. But Cherdsma certainly would get a big pat on the back and player of the game worthy to lead Yankton. And I was still impressed with the hitting efforts of Brooklyn King, who actually made the final out, standing her ground. And, you get a hot shot coming at you with the game on the line. The hardest ball to field, I know you'll back me up on this, is the one that's hit hard at
line
you.
Drive right at you, and then in the game, right? You got to squeeze it.
And that's exactly what Brooklyn King did, top of the order, even though it wasn't a great box score day for Jocelyn Behrens. I think she made some good contact. Madison Gerard, Madison Musfelt, they all hit the ball pretty well today as well. The players of the game, though, for the Pierre Governors, we'll talk about that. We'll award it when we come back after this from Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. This is Governor Softball.
Download the app and save at Cowboy Country Stores. Cowboy Country Stores' new app is as simple as putting in your phone number, then save big. Take advantage of daily promotions and clubs, like every Monday coffee, just 99 cents. Every Saturday and Sunday, $2 off a large pizza. Fridays, it's 2 breakfast sandwiches for $6. Other great daily specials. The new app available now at Cowboy Country Stores. Download today.
2 hits.
Back at Riggs Field once again to talk about candidates for our player of the game from Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre. And 7 runs scored, 5 hits. And basically, there are people who are getting on base. In fact, Noelle Kist walked 4 times after striking out in the first inning. That is certainly, and she pitched a pretty good ball game, gave up 4 runs.
Yep.
I had Noel giving up in this one, but looking elsewhere for people who contributed, and I think, Chris Hall, it's the people who are might be newer to the scene this year that came up big. Ireland Templeton had the 2-run single. That was big to give the Governors the lead, 6-4. Ireland's she's got a few T-shirts from the wrestling gig for us as well, so we'll look elsewhere. But some real nice hitting efforts by Olivia Hymans today and Amber Roman. But I'm kind of leaning toward Roman, who had a 2-for-4 day. Granted, one of them was an infield pop-up on a play that wasn't made, but still an RBI double for Amber Roman. I think we'll go her way.
Yeah,
player of the game.
I'm good with that. We haven't maybe called Amber's name last year, the year before, but she's got some experience. Really good hitter, calming influence. Heyman's definitely worthy too. She lives, eats, and breathes it. She's starting shortstop for the JV team, by the way. But yeah, Amber Roman played a good game and certainly deserving of a T-shirt.
All right, we'll get her the T-shirt in the name of Cowboy Country Stores and River 92.7 Sports, noting her accomplishments. Govs fall today, however, 9-7. And next up for Pierre, they go to Watertown on Tuesday of next week. That'll be a 5:30 start time. And our next broadcast will be 1 week from today when the Governors host the highly touted Brookings Bobcats. That'll be another 4 o'clock. First pitch will be on the air at 3:30, 1 week from today. And, of course, we'll live stream at drgnews.com with the help of live tickets as well. For Yankton, who improves to 2-1 on their young season, we'll get back to their schedule to take a look at what they've got. They go to they host Sioux Falls Jefferson on Monday, and then Sioux Falls Roosevelt they'll host on Tuesday. Then they go to Sioux Falls Thursday to take on the Washington Warriors. They've got a busy week ahead, but they are done for this weekend. That's what Yankton's got coming up. We again invite you to join us next Thursday when Pierre hosts Brookings, 3:30 with our pregame time. Chris Hall will join me again, we assume.
Yeah,
and
be here.
We thank you for joining us in this one. We remind everybody on the road, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being a part of a team. They remind us always to buckle up every trip, every time you've got someplace to be. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. C. Hall, final thoughts?
No, I think there's a lot of stuff to build on there, Oak. It's those cleaning up those little things and waking the bats up a little bit, and I think the bats are going to come because there's some talent there.
Absolutely. So, Pierre falls 9-7 on your Gales Gas Service scoreboard here today. I want to thank Caleb Brozick for running the camera for us. You can rewatch this one at drgnews.com and with the help of GoGovs.live as well. Addie Johnson and Chuck Hansen have run our show in studio. Governor of Sports, Governor Softball, and every Governor Sport on River 92.7, your official voice of the Pierre Governors, has been sponsored by your Pierre Sports marketing sponsors. They include Bank West and Beck Motors, Dakota Storm Roofing, Superior Concrete, Live Ticket, also Overhead Door, Reiki Gray Wealth Management, Avera Orthopedics, Kathy Capital City, Ford, Lincoln, Toyota, Kruger Contracting, Century Business Products, and the Brittany Shufflebine Agency of American Family Insurance. Governor Sports also brought to you in part by First Dakota National Bank, Avera Health, TMA, May Adam, Access Health, and Dakota Mart, by Slumberland Furniture, American Bank and Trust, Pierre Regional Airport, Hawaii Federal Credit Union, the Ramkota Hotel, Xander Auto Parts, Ferding Electric, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Bauman Lumber, Wagner Auto, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union in Pierre. Governor Sports brought to you within the broadcast by Bank West, by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, by Central Dakota Eye Care and Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental of Pierre in Gettysburg, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gales Gas Service in Pierre. One more time, your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard: Yankton 9 and the Pierre Governors 7. For Chris Hall, I'm Brian Oakland. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of the official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody.
Driven by the